We are top of the hour. We are top of the hour. So let me bring something out that everybody needs to know and hear about, because Alex Jones said that things were going to go in the way of what we're hearing these things develop. Former President Donald Trump said, "Big threats on my life by Iran. The entire U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves were already made by Iran that didn't work out, but they will try again. Not a good situation for anyone. I am surrounded by more men, guns, and weapons than I have ever seen before. Thank you to Congress for unanimously approving for more money to Secret Service. Zero, no, capital no. Votes strictly bipartisan. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together on something. An attack on a former president is a death wish for the attacker." Now, I'm quoting what former President Donald Trump wrote on that of X. Let me say this. Alex Jones came out and said that there would be threats made and they would put this off on that of Iran. He said this. Iran is the scapegoat for the larger picture of what's going on. What people need to know and what people need to understand is Donald Trump is fighting against globalism. Okay? Let's put this thing right where it needs to be. Because the American people are not stupid. By a long shot, they're not. So what we see going on here now is you have Donald Trump, who's fighting against globalism, and then you have that of Kamala Harris, who's fighting for globalism. They're different. They're not one and the same. The essence of what we've seen unfold with the actually 3 attempts on Donald Trump's life is not coming from that of Iran. This young man that was in Pennsylvania, that was not attached to that of Iran. This last guy who was from North Carolina, and I'm not going to mention their names, this man was not attached to that of Iran. But he was in a certain commercial going back to a certain I'll just use the term foundation or company that, we'll just say company, that would have something against Donald Trump and wanting him out of the way. It is the same rhetoric. It is the same bullshit that we've seen happen going back to Kennedy. The same elements that removed Kennedy, both Kennedys, King, Malcolm, and everybody else are the same people who are behind wanting to remove Donald Trump out of the way. That's what we're dealing with. A lot of people will not talk about it, but that is where we are, and that's what we're dealing with. Everything out here in society is about money. It's about the dollar bill. Are we going to go back to a certain standard before all of this stuff came about, or are we going to keep the same standard in place and let that standard evolve into something? That's what we're dealing with. Because I've often said this many times over. When you are dealing with the aspect of black people now, seeing all of these ethnicities and different groups, these voting blocks get things and black people not get anything, now we got a problem. But now we got to change the dynamics of all of these things, because we know, because of what these people have gone through, we eventually got to acknowledge that we got to pay them. So if we open the borders and we'll let these other people trigger in, then their numbers decrease, and it's not so much of a fraction of what it used to be. That's what we're dealing with. These are the things of what's moving forward. So in order to make these things happen, they give us Kamala Inhofe, who's attached to the essence of what's against Donald Trump. That is what we're dealing with. Those are the things that we are dealing with. And the American people know it, and the American people are tired of it. And one of the things I want to say, and one of the things I want to add, because it simply needs to be said, black people are tired of it. This is why you've seen black men move away from that of Kamala Inhofe. She doesn't even use her last name, Inhofe, because she don't want to remind black people there's no connection to you. Candace Owens just came out and exposed that the whole debacle with this lady, I say debacle because that's what it is a complete lie. It's just who's going to fall for it. The picture that she had, she said was a grandmother. It's not a grandmother. All of that is far-fetched. All of it is lies. This lady has a talking point, a talking voice for every ethnic group she goes around. And they really think people are that dumb and out of touch to see what the bullshit is. I want to thank everybody for watching this video. I'm Chris Miles. You've been watching The Chris Miles Show. Drop your comments below. Until next time, the Moving Finger Rice has written, moves on. To all of you, have a